All right, good morning, guys. As you can see, this is not Junction City, Kansas and Milford Lake. Apparently there's a situation at the Motel 6 that they got for us, that there's nowhere to plug any boats in. So instead of driving there and getting in at midnight and having nowhere to plug in after a day of fishing, I said, screw it, I'm going home because it's a 2-hour drive. So we are heading out this morning, heading over to Junction City and go practice today, and we'll figure out if we can plug in tonight. If not, I might just come home again because I'm not going to fish on 2 days. My batteries probably just won't hold up. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll check in back at the lake, hopefully go find us some big fish for Milford. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and let's hit the road, get to Milford. Well, back on the road. Told you we were gonna next stop be on the lake, but thought I'd blog a little bit more. So on the way here, just got done stopping at Casey's. You know me, I like Casey's. I stopped and got me a breakfast pizza, cold coffee to drink, and we're on the road again. A little bit about this Milford tournament, man. I came here pre-practice twice. It was brutal. Like, couple, just, 3 fish. I think I had 3 bites each time, or 2 bites once and 1 follower and 3 bites the other time. And it's gonna be really tough. Big cold front coming, winter weather advisory actually in effect. So it's gonna be an interesting bite. We're gonna have to figure something out. It's really gonna be a grinder mentality. It's not gonna be like Table Rock. We just got, getting 15, 20 bites a day. Don't think that's gonna be the case. Just gonna get a handful of bites a day. Have to fish clean. Most important part of this tournament is gonna be fishing clean. If you don't fish clean, then you're gonna struggle to do well, just because I don't think there's a lot of bites out there. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be an interesting event. I really think, unless I'm just way off and somebody just really finds them, I feel like you can get 3 keepers a day as a boater. Probably 6-7 pounds a day is going to do you really well. So that's kind of what we're shooting for. Obviously, the goal of this tournament is strictly just to be the best Missouri guy to move on to the next level. So that's what we're going for. Move on to that next level. But I know it's going to be tough. Going to try a lot of different things today. Going to go real finesse. Going to throw a tuba bait. Going to throw a Ned rig. Going to throw small swim bait, stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of what I throw. Probably going to throw a shaky head a bit more this time, and then I'm going to crank a lot. My one keeper did come cranking in pre-practice, so I'll probably do a lot of that. Anyway, thanks for riding along with me for this trip. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Last I checked, we're at 278 subscribers. There's going to be a lot of content coming out from this week. You've already seen Table Rock practice, seen Table Rock day 1, seen Table Rock day 2. If you haven't seen those, check at the top throughout this video. I'll link those videos for you guys to go check out. We did pretty well. Not going to tell you guys how I did. You can go check it out. We did pretty well. Overall, I accomplished my goal. Obviously didn't have a great tournament, but I definitely accomplished my goal that I set out before the tournament. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get back to driving, finish the drive out to Milford here. Got a couple hours left. Still in Kansas City area right now, so just shortly on the road. So we're going to get in probably maybe about 7:30. Hopefully be on the water by 8. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you out on the lake. All right, guys, well, practice day is over. We fished for like 2 hours. It was actually over like 3 hours ago. It is unfishable. I'd be surprised if the wind blew like that if we'd even fish a tournament on that lake. It's so wide and open that the north wind, it was like huge giant 4 or 5 foot swells, big rollers. So we just fished around. I caught 1 largemouth. I didn't have to set the cameras up because I knew we probably weren't going to go long. Caught 1 largemouth. He lost 1. My co-angler lost 1, so didn't really learn much. So didn't really feel like there's a huge benefit to being out there. So that kind of wraps up the day 1 practice. I might choose some more video tonight. We'll see, but that's all the fishing for today. So we'll check in a bit. Alright, guys, day 2 update. You can see snow. Got like 6 inches of snow on the boat. A couple guys already went to the lake. I talked to a couple guys in the club that made this also, and we are going to go to breakfast. We are not going to the lake. The snow's really slowing down. Probably when we get back from breakfast, probably start trying to clean up the boat from all the snow, get the cover off, and then probably head to the lake after that. But it's a pretty hot mess in here. Not really loving it. It's cold, low 30s. Feels like in the 20s. So anyway, we'll check back in a bit. Alright guys, we're out here for day 2 practice out on Milford. It's low 30s, snow on the ground, snow on the cover, snow on the boat, snow everywhere. So we're gonna go out and fish for 4 hours probably. Check out the lake, see if we can get a couple bites, and then head in. Get ready for the meeting and dinner and tournament tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in guys, and let's get after it. Alright, so starting spot here is a rock pile that I found on Google Earth. When the water is down, so there's a rock pile kind of out in the middle here. There's a little point that you can't see. It's not really on any chips or anything, but found the rock pile, hung out there for a little bit. Didn't do any good, so we moved on to another area. After we fished the rock pile, headed over and checked a couple other waypoints. Idled around. There's 2 rock piles that I found on this bank on Google Earth, and didn't like either of them were there. I didn't see anything on the graph, so moved on, checked another rock pile up further up the bank, didn't see anything there either. Then ended up running across the lake here to a little rock point that's out here on the main lake. Wanted to fish some main lake rock, figured the fish still pre-spawned, maybe that's where they would be located. After fishing through a long stretch of bank here, didn't have any bites, spinnerbait, jerkbait, jig, fished some brush piles off the bank, didn't do any good, decided to move on, decided to run up the lake. Fished the north part of the lake, it's not an area that I ever fished before. Found this little marina here that I figured would be protected from the wind, called Military Marina. Started out on this point right here, throwing a spinnerbait, a little 3/8 ounce spinnerbait, covert, and right away, probably 4th, 5th cast, bam, hook into a fish, which I did not want to do, and ended up being the first keeper, largemouth. Well, maybe he's not going to keep. He's got a big head. He got a big head, and he's not. Yeah. When I saw his head, I was like, that's definitely a keeper. He's going to be close. Oh, yeah, he keeps. Maybe.
You can't pinch the tail. You got to fan the tail. I don't know what that means, but.
He touches, but if you really jam him up there, he just barely touches. If you really jam him, but if you just put him on the board. So after catching that fish, maybe made 3 or 4 more casts, just barely inside this point here at the marina. Make a cast right up on the rock, same spinnerbait that I'm still throwing, and I get a bite, and I half-hearted set the hook, but the fish got hooked. I tried to shake him off after this, but I'd set the hook a little too hard, ended up catching the fish, and it was another keeper. So after this fish, we just immediately got out of there. Both of them were just keepers, but just keepers in this tournament were a huge deal. So was happy to get a couple bites and find a little area, but man, burning these 2 fish really did hurt. Yeah, we're leaving. Oh, he's leaving.
Stay up in this area.
Like I said in the video, as soon as we caught that second one, I was immediately getting out of there. Got to save as many fish as possible. Seems like there's some there. So we're going to run up this, a little bit of the lake here, just a little bit further north. There's another little boat ramp marina area. Thought maybe there'd be some water on it, but it ended up being super silted in. Shower from the lake was flooded, so didn't do any good there. Did want to fish these rocks here around the corner, and unfortunately I hit my co-angler's line or something right here. I'm not really sure what happened, but it broke my spinnerbait. Only spinnerbait I had like that. I had another one that was a 1/2 ounce, but this one was a 3/8. So this one, I don't really know what happened, but I ended up losing it. Dug around for a while, couldn't find it. So decided to leave and go up and fish the bridge. The bridge is all the way at the top of the lake. Really can't go much further north than the bridge, maybe a little ways. So we started about the middle of the bridge here, and I worked my way up. And here I was fishing pretty fast, alternating between a spinnerbait and a square bill in the muddy water, hoping the sun would just heat up those rocks and that water would be just a little bit warmer, maybe get some fish up there. Got to the corner here. There's a guy catfishing out over here on the side, and ended up hooking into a little 3 or 4 pound drum. And he actually asked if he could keep it, so I'd motor it over there, drop it in his net so he could use it to catch some big blue cats. Apparently this lake's known for really giant blue catfish, and that's what they were fishing for. He's actually staying at our hotel too. So it was really nice. Gave him that fish. Hopefully he caught a big giant one that weekend or that day after I gave him that fish.
Want it?
He wants it for bait.
Here. So after giving that nice gentleman that fish, we came over here. There's some rocks here on the opposite side of the area we were fishing there, or that bridge. Another little marina, rocky area, kind of some jetty type things. Fish all around there, didn't do any good. Decided to run down the lake a little further and fish. Here we stop in this little cove, nice little bluff looking point, rocky point. We're also going to be protected from the wind. It's another reason we kind of wanted to fish it. So we swing in there and fish around. Here actually we're on our way out. My co-angler shook a fish off on this tree on the way in, so knew that there's some fish in the area. So I make a fire to cast over there. Didn't get a bite, but my co-angler did shake one off there. He thought it was a pretty decent fish there on that tree. Then we move a little further out, getting out towards the main lake here, and to catch a nice little wiper white bass. I think they call them wiper on that lake. It's like hybrids or something like that. And caught it on a spinnerbait, so this gives me some confidence, even though, you know, it's not a largemouth or smallmouth, but it is a fish. They're going to be around shad, they're going to be feeding the same type of thing. So knowing that there's these things up here, catching a couple of these means that you're going to be around some fish, or at least some bait fish, to be able to catch a couple. So this ended up being the last fish of the day. After this, we just rode down, went back in, loaded up for the day, and got ready for the meeting. Alright guys, so that wraps up the practice day at Milford Lake for the Bass Nation Central Regional. First day, like I said, only got a couple hours of fish. It was brutal weather. Second day was brutal weather too. 6-7 inches of snow in the morning. Melted off. Got out for a couple hours. Did find a spot that's looking pretty promising for us. Caught 2 keepers, which really didn't want to do. The first keeper I set the hook on. The second one I started to set the hook, then remembered I didn't want to set the hook, so it was a half-hearted one, but still hooked him good, and it kept 2. So that hurts to catch 2 in practice, because most likely those 2 in the tournament go a long way. You know, estimating 7-8 pounds a day is going to get it done. I caught 2 for 4 pounds in practice the day before. Is not good. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you watching. Next video will be the Bass Nation Central Regional day number 1 for you guys, so really appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far in the video, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you out in the next one.